Saturday morning's time for Mark-Out-Mania.
Boom, boom, boom.
James, Zeus, and Pedro are here for you, and we're live.
Dum,
Yeah,
dum,
we're live.
dum,
Yeah, we're live.
dum,
Oh, we're live. It's time for
Are we live?
Mark-Out-Mania.
Do-do-do-do.
We're gonna talk wrestling and whatever else we want, because it's time for
Do-do-do.
Mark-Out-Mania.
Yeah, all right. Good job, Pedro.
Oh my goodness. Hey, hola amigos, and welcome to the Mark-Out-Mania. We've got with us James, the Extreme Pirate. I mean, he's no longer a pirate. James, the Extreme Sorno. How are you, Mr. Sorno?
I am good, Mr. Boyd. Healing, getting better each day. I'm getting ready to see a Zeus. Damn it.
Whoa. what just happened?
I think he just smacked his microphone.
Oh my God.
Close the ring.
What happened? I missed that. What happened?
Oh my God.
It sounded like you smacked your microphone, Jay.
Yes. I got all excited. She got like a discombobulated. Look at that. I'm a hot mess over here.
Hey, I'm not going to do sound effects this week. We got the
no
God
sound
of Thunder.
effects?
We got the God of Thunder. Sweet Dark, how are you?
Great.
Damn, I don't know what happened. I yanked shit out. It was a mess.
Oh man, you know, I'm gonna tell you a very embarrassing story. When I was in high school, I can't remember. I don't know. I can't remember what grade it was. I was listening. I was in my room and I was listening to Prince's. You ever heard that song? My name is Prince. My name is Prince, and I am funky.
Yeah, I think so. You know? Oh my God, they showed the Hulk again.
So, you know how TV is. So I was listening to that song in my room and I was dancing to it. I was dancing around and I accidentally hit myself in the face. That's how bad my dancing was. I was flailing my arms around and I accidentally hit myself in the face and my glasses flew across the room and I couldn't see. And I was kind of stunned because it cut along one of my nostrils. It cut along where it meets your face and stuff.
Damn,
it attaches to your face. Yeah, I accidentally hit myself really hard.
Savage.
So it kind of stunned me, but yeah, that's my embarrassing. I accidentally hit myself in the face.
Why is Cheaters on MTV2? I don't have MTV2. It's supposed to be on VH1. I'm not happy right now. Sorry, Pedro.
Oh, I was finished. What's been going on?
Nothing's been a pretty good week of wrestling. Not too bad, right?
Yeah. Had a good week of school, so.
He's super. He's famous. He's studious. He's Zeus.
Right.
Do you remember when the singer from Weezer went to university in between albums and stuff? That's Zeus right now.
That's Zeus right now. Yeah.
You know what's funny? I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but one of my absolute two best friends from growing up, Chris, he looks just like the lead singer of Weezer.
Oh my God!
I shit you not. I'll show you all a picture later. But I mean, I would always bug him. You know, dude, if Weezer's coming to North Carolina, we got to go. And we're gonna walk in the fucking backstage. We're gonna walk in back, and nobody's gonna stop you. And we're gonna go to catering, and we're gonna get fucking food and drinks, and we're gonna go rock out.
That's cool.
Yeah. I worked with another guy that looked like the lead singer of Alabama.
What?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, women would stop him.
Whoa!
If we were at a convenience store or whatever, sometimes they would stop and be like, "Oh my God, I love Alabama." And he's like, "Yeah, me too, but that's not me."
I would have milked that shit. I was like, thanks, hey, you want an autograph? And then I would have signed my regular name.
Stephanie's dad, one time he was real big into Ham Fest. You know those ham radios?
Yeah.
So they would have these like conventions like Ham Fest or whatever, and he would go to some of those things.
That don't even sound right, but go ahead.
I know. But
Kenny Omega, where are you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
he had, his hair was, kind of white, gray, and he had like a full beard and he had glasses and stuff. He looked a little bit like Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead. Now, this story is funny because Jerry Garcia was dead when this happened, but he was at the still, and someone kept following him around, Jerry, Jerry, and he kept trying to tell him, I'm not Jerry Garcia, he's dead, and they didn't believe him. They insisted he was Jerry Garcia, so he finally signed the guy's. He signed the autograph like he was Jerry Garcia.
Oh my God, savage!
So the guy would leave him alone.
Jerry Garcia. No, you're not. I'm looking at you. What's wrong with these people? Crack, brutal.
Hey, so what all's been happening in wrestling? I haven't seen much. I didn't see NXT TakeOver. I haven't seen NXT UK. I only saw like some stuff from last weekend involving the Joshi stuff, and I saw some old Joshi show with Bailucha. So I didn't see much current stuff. What have y'all been watching?
I saw this week's NXT. I saw NXT TakeOver, and I missed UK, so I haven't seen anything else beside that. I didn't see SmackDown yesterday, and I had Raw was on in the background, which, yeah, I'll get into that later because they fucked up. But yeah. So how about you, Zeus? What'd you watch? See anything?
I watched a little classic. Had some classic Georgia going on while I was drawing and stuff because I've been so busy with school and my comic book that the thing is, like, I find that if I'm gonna watch wrestling I haven't watched before, I want to sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's really hard to multitask when you're trying to watch something new, or at least new to you,
Yeah.
So it's easier to digest 30 squash matches that I watched 25, 30 years ago. And then like you pause, you look up, it's like when there's because most often, most of the time, the promos are even better than the wrestling, as far as, when it comes to squash matches.
Yeah. Old school promos are so good. I mean, compared to what we get now, it's so good. Old school promos.
Yeah. Somebody posted an Arn Anderson promo that was from like 95, was leading up to, Rick versus Arn. And, it wasn't even that great of for Arn, it wasn't that great of a promo. But to me,
yeah.
But, for anybody, modern day, and, all these, those two fucking jack-offs that, keep wanting to keep getting their selfies taken with fucking Tully and Arn because they work there and shit. They all think they're fucking, we're the next Tully and Arn. Everybody's great because they tell us, oh, shut the fuck up.
Fart.
Two fucking idiots couldn't cut one good promo.
I've never seen them cut a good promo. No, never. Never.
No. Or what about a good singles match? You ever seen any of those two idiots have a good singles match?
They were actually good in NXT, and then they just stopped. They stopped. They just stopped trying.
Hey, shout out to YYH in the chat room.
Y2H.
Y2H2. Hola. ¿Cómo está?
The revival slash fart or whatever. Like they it's weird. The matches they had in NXT that were so good, but then they got to the main roster. Nothing like that. Like even close to that kind of level. And then
they started believing their own hype.
I know, it's so weird. And then in AEW, it's like even less returns, even more diminished returns. So they're like, I think of them as an exposed act. Like, I almost think whatever good would happen in NXT must have been like the other people involved, because
it's kind of like when you get a new video game, right? And you're like, oh man, I suck at this, but I like it, so I'm going to try really hard. And then you get to a certain point where it kind of gets boring to you, and people tell you you're good, and you're good to a point, and then you just kind of cruise, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. They're fucking.
So you're saying they're like that high school football star who believed all the hype, and then when they got to college, they weren't like as good.
Yes, they're the Al Bundy of pro wrestling.
Brian Bosworth. Oh my God! Yeah, they were really good at one time. They suck now.
Who's that?
Fart.
Yeah, fart.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna call. We should just call them that all the time. Fart.
That's what they should be called. Yeah, I mean it's horrible.
Yeah,
we
talk about them. We should set it up with like, do you smell something?
I smell a fart.
It's fart.
James, I know this will never happen, but now I want like the WWE to one day buy AEW.
Just so Vince could do that. I smell a fart.
Listen here, pal. Did someone fart?
What does that smell, pal?
Hey, Zeus, you were mentioning Arn Anderson. Did you see how they debuted his kid recently?
That's his kid, that broad kid that looks just like him?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. No, I mean, but he came out, he looked like a fucking, just like he looked like some guy at a wrestling show.
Yeah, he was dressed in like slacks and a polo shirt, and he had his hands in his pocket.
Right.
What was he doing? Orange Cassidy impersonation?
Well, no, I mean, but like we've all seen, people just kind of stand around with their hands in their pockets. But if you were making your first impression on a wrestling audience, right?
And you're Arn Anderson's fucking son.
Yeah, you're Arn Anderson's kid.
You got to go in there pumped up. You got to work that crowd. You got to get them hype, man. You can't be standing there with your hand up your ass. I mean, unless you're Kenny Omega, but you can't stand there with your hand in your pocket.
At least have like your arms crossed or your wrists or something. I don't know.
Have a little attitude like, yeah, I'm Arn Anderson's kid, so you know what that means. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Something brutal.
I was like, man, that's such bad presentation. Like, that's everyone's first idea is gonna be like, oh, that guy who looks like a fan.
Oh yeah, maybe just because you were born the son of a wrestler, maybe the business isn't for you. I mean, there's a few people who should never know. No. Or you like even siblings. Like, nah, you're not gonna do it. It's not a good look. I mean, we can all talk about Kendall Windham. That was brutal. All the way up to Doc.
Not as brutal as David Flair.
Yeah, David Flair was the worst. I mean, oh my God, he was horrible. I mean, and don't get me started on Dominic Mysterio, especially last week. But it was horrible.
He's making life hard on his dad, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Oh my God.
That was horrible. That was horrible. That was horrible, man. I mean, come on.
Short bus. Oh.
Damn.
Just because you're in the business, maybe you shouldn't be in the business. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Okay, James, I got to hear about Raw. You said you had stuff to say about Raw. For some reason, talking about Dominic Mysterio, and that makes me.
Well, it was a whole hum Raw. It was nothing crazy. Even though Hell in a Cell is tomorrow, so you know
there's a pay-per-view tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Hell in a Cell. So they were doing the go home show. Actually, apparently, last night on SmackDown, it was a Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns Hell in the Cell fucking main event from the Hell in the Cell. It was actually moved to SmackDown last night.
Why?
I have no idea. I didn't watch SmackDown, so I don't know the reasoning behind it.
Okay.
So, but on Raw, you know, it was ho hum. I was in the background, you know, and I couldn't tell you exactly what happened in any of the matches, until Eva Marie made her re-debut. Okay? Eva fucking Marie. First of all, she looked like a fucking Barbie doll on crack. She looks totally plastic. I mean, totally plastic, right? Okay. So Eva Marie comes out, and she has a bodyguard with her. So it's Piper Niven. Wearing her Piper Niven gear from NXT UK. You know, the same boots and the same singlet that she wears. Yeah. You know, it's her gear. So she comes out, and the thing that got me so irritated, it was the announcers who say, "Oh my God, that's Eva Marie. She looks more beautiful than ever." But wait, who is this? Who is this with Eva Marie? We've never seen this person before. Who is this woman? What can she do in the ring? Why is she here? We don't know her name. We have to do some investigative reporting. Let's find out. Oh my God. You promote this woman on NXT UK. She's even in the opening of the UK program. Okay? I mean, her face flashes on the screen. It's Piper Niven. Everybody knows it's Piper Niven. How does everybody know it's Piper Niven? Because you promote her on the fucking network as Piper Niven. And then you're going to go on Raw and say, I don't know who she is? That's a bad, horrible job whoever made that call. And she's doing all the Piper Niven moves. All her signature moves, everything. And the announcers are going, oh my God, I've never seen a woman move like that before.
What?
I'm like, you got to be shitting me over here. Eva Marie never wrestled. All she did was stood outside the ring while fucking Piper Niven. You want to talk about a fucking sell job? I feel bad for Naomi. Naomi totally jobbed out to Piper Niven. It was a squash match. 100% squash match on Naomi. And you can tell Naomi was just going through the motions like, go ahead, beat me up. Go ahead. You know? It was just bad all the way around. I'm like, why would you do that? You took a recognizable fist, and she's recognizable because she stands out from the other women wrestlers because A, she doesn't look like them, and B, she doesn't move like them.
You know, I never understood, and this is just kind of a little side note here, but I never understood why they kind of backed off of Naomi, because I mean I was still watching a little bit, you know, when she was really popular.
She's good,
and you know, and it just seemed like somebody in the bag said, "No, fuck this bitch," you know.
Yeah.
And like every time you'd see her, when they would bring her out, like, you know, people were excited. You know, people loved the entrance, the effects and all that shit. And I was just like, why did they back off from her? I don't
feel the glow.
Yeah.
We've talked about it on here before. She's not a great worker in my opinion, but
she's entertaining, fine. Pedro. She's entertaining.
She's fine. Okay. She's fine at what she does. And like Zeus was saying, she's over. She was always over.
Yeah.
And she had a great look. She had great in-ring charisma. Maybe not best promo, right? But it's not like they gave her much opportunity to work on that, did they?
And then they paired her with Lana. I was like, what the hell was that?
They paired her with a lot of people. I mean, do you remember her and Asuka were a tag team for a while, and they got over as a tag team?
Yeah, that's right.
And then they just split them up for no reason. And then, I mean, they just do nothing with her. And we've talked about it before. She's so over, and she has a great look. And like you said, they love the entrance. Like, if you put her in front of a crowd, the crowd's going to pop when they see her come out. They're going to be like, oh. Yeah,
and you would think, being from Orlando, she's from Orlando.
Man,
she's from Florida, so and she was an Orlando Magic cheerleader. So if your base of operations right now, because of the pandemic, is out of Florida, it's in Central Florida, you will push the homegrown talent even bigger, and she's already open to begin with. It just doesn't make sense. I guess it's too easy.
You want to know what makes even less sense about that whole deal? Which one of the Usos is her husband?
That would be Jimmy.
Okay.
AKA John.
So she is married to one of the Usos, who's in this big main event angle with Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
And she still is treated like a jobber. Even and this is like after she was a former SmackDown Women's Champion, right?
Yeah, and tag team champion.
Yeah. And so
I think tag team champion. I'm not sure.
I don't think she's had the tag team. Tag team title, but
yeah, she was SmackDown champion. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So, like
the glowing belt. I mean, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was. That was when she was Raw champion. Yeah, that's right, Zeus. Yeah. And instead of the announcers actually putting over Naomi or Piper Niven, like the announcers could have said, "Oh my God, I can't believe who Ava Marie walked out with. That's Piper Niven from NXT UK." Hyping up your own program, and you just who's this person? And look, it's Naomi, and they didn't even give Naomi any props.
James, think of what they missed out on doing there. That's Piper Niven from NXT UK, which you can only watch on Peacock.
Right, exactly.
Tie into your business relationships.
Like, the ass backwards. But I mean, how many people you have working for WWE and nobody could have came up with that?
It's crazy.
Or they decided not to do it, even worse. But they didn't give her a name yet, so let's see what happens. Oh, that was Piper Niven. We forgot what she looked like. No.
Yeah.
That pissed me off about the whole Raw thing. So I was not happy. I can see if it was a wrestler from another company and you don't want to put her over right away. I get that because Vince used to do that all the time. Okay. So fine. So they remember Skinner. Come on. So let's But I mean, come on. She works for your own company, and she's a highlight. She's not just she's a main player in fucking NXT UK.
And look, Piper Niven is good.
She
has even before any association with the WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
She had good matches in Japan. She had good matches in Europe. She has a whole a body of work outside of the WWE that people can look at and be like, oh man, look, that's a banger, this and this, and then you get her in NXT UK. She's got a whole series of things on there that we've talked about before, and yeah, there's all this stuff. She's not I don't know. It's just weird.
If that was me and you really played it like this week, okay? If I'm booking, here's what I would do. I would have Piper never come out with Eva Marie. Eva Marie tried to cut a promo. Fucking Piper never grabbed the mic from Eva Marie. She would say, "Why am I doing this? I'm a world class athlete, and I don't look like you." And she clotheslined Eva Marie out of her fucking makeup, and that's it. And then boom, fucking start an angle like that. That's how you do it. Get real. This bullshit. I'm so disappointed.
Hey, thinking about the Naomi thing again. I feel like when we talked about her in the past, some of the stuff we talked about, there are spots she did that like almost only she could do because of her athleticism and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she was maybe someone who sort of needed to be led in matches or whatever. I feel like some of these things are things we've said recently about Bianca Belair. And I started thinking about this. I'm like, is there going to come a point that they're going to Naomi Bianca Belair?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, why do you fuck around with things that's already proven work? The fuck Naomi's already proven she could sell merch. She's over. Especially with the kids who are all dressed up with the little glow sticks and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
She's over. Why are you fucking around with that? Why are you fucking around with Piper Niven, a woman who looks like her, who is shaped like her, and do the things that not a lot of women can do. And she's charismatic. She's awesome in the ring, and you again, something that's proven, you fuck it up. It's like you're trying to reinvent the wheel. Just go out there and wrestle. No stupid 20-minute vignettes as your main event. No fucking. They had a main event with Shayna Baszler in the back being fucking possessed by a child or being chased by a ragdoll or some stupid shit. It's stupid. It's just what they're doing is just stupid.
Wait. Okay, I hadn't heard about this. What happened to Shayna Baszler?
She was a guest on the playground, or whatever. Alicia,
Alexa.
Yeah, the Alexis playground shit, and fucking Alexis was trying to make Shayna Baszler apologize to her doll. And Shayna Baszler was like, "I'm not apologizing." And then she takes the doll, throws it on the floor, and stomps on it. And then you get the doll's perspective of Shayna's foot fucking crushing her face. Like, all of a sudden, here we get Steven Spielberg action going on. Like, okay. And that's your main event. And then all of a sudden, the doll is chasing Baszler throughout the building. Like, like she keeps showing up and messing with Baszler's head. And it's almost like possessing Shayna Baszler. That was your Raw main event. That's what they showed for 20 minutes before Raw went out the air. Was that?
Wow.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? Just fucking wrestle.
Sorry about the noise.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Man.
Ooh, someone wants to give you a Minoru Suzuki 4-star. Yeah, we'll see.
James, I'm kind of like stunned thinking about all this.
Yeah, it's just
weird. It's just weird. Like,
that's why it's hard for me to watch main roster shit, because I just can't. It's hard for me to get into it.
Well, now I gotta look up this Hell in a Cell to see to get that out of the way.
Yeah, find out what was going on there, because that was supposed to be one of the main events tomorrow, and then it was moved to SmackDown. I don't know why.
June 20th.
There was something happened. They said that Roman was pulled from the event. So
really,
yeah.
Okay, let's see. I wonder what was going on.
I don't know.
Well, the card listed here: Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair defends against Bayley. Haven't they already wrestled? Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, and Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. The Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, and Bianca Belair, Bayley are both Hell in a Cell matches for the titles.
Do you think they pulled that match because they didn't want a third Hell in a Cell match? Because you think it would have been too much?
But you could have had the show open with one of the Hell in a Cells, then have another one in the middle, and then one at the end.
That is true.
It's not an exciting card, is it? I don't want to.
To be honest with you, I honestly don't know if I'm going to even put it on. I'm not excited.
I feel like we've seen a lot of these matches already.
It's probably because you've seen a lot of these matches already.
Yeah. And then they fire Samoa Joe just to bring him back Tuesday on NXT.
Well, hey, before we talk about NXT on Tuesday, James, you said if I do the rundown of the NXT Takeover, you'll tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, because I don't remember the matches, but yeah.
Okay, winner takes all 6-man tag match: Bronson Reed and Flippy Fucks versus Legado del Fantasma.
MSK and Bronson Reed won the match. They went over. Honestly, it was a great opening match because that's how you open a pay-per-view. You get people excited. Yes, a lot of flippy stuff, but it was good. It was that good kind of flippy stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't bad because there's good flippy stuff and bad flippy stuff. This was more towards the good side. Yeah, because it wasn't that much. It was just them going at it, them beating the shit out of each other. It was good stuff. It was a good match. It was a good match.
Xia Li versus Mercedes Martinez.
Horrendous. I understand you're trying to get Xia Li over because a new gimmick, fine. I expect a little bit more from this match. The whole post shenanigan match. The whole post match shenanigans took too long to actually develop. She want because Miley, who was sitting in the chair for like the past 6 months, now she gets up. It's like, oh my God, I can walk. You've been saved. And now she picks up Mercedes Martinez and tries to choke her out. It is what it is. But it was a boring match. Honestly, it just didn't click with me.
Do you feel kind of bad for Boa that he doesn't get any kind of chance to develop?
He's getting no love in this run. Nothing. Zero.
He's just a bodyguard in a suit or something, right?
He's fodder.
That guy is kind of weird. They're like, we signed this guy from China. We're gonna do nothing with him.
Yeah,
at least give him a chance to develop into something.
He looks good in sunglasses.
It feels like there's a lot of hirings that they have that are just for the publicity of it.
I was gonna say almost like some weird like tokenism or something, like to appeal to a market, but then it's just like, oh yeah, we'd do nothing with this XYZ. I don't know. It's weird.
Brutal.
LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes for the $1 million title. It's a ladder match, right? It was a ladder match.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't expecting much from this match, only because Cameron Grimes could kill it in a ladder match, but I don't know if LA Knight could. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. We've all seen better ladder matches. But this one, it was okay. It was satisfying. It definitely kept you interested. But it's not the best ladder match we've seen, especially with Cameron Grimes. But you know what? He's turning into the hottest babyface on NXT right now. He was so over with that crowd. And all the crowd said they were to the moon, to the moon. He is ridiculously over as a face right now.
Oh my God. I almost got a little goosebumps when you were describing that. Now I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
Especially especially this past Tuesday on NXT of what happened.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. What about Raquel Gonzalez versus Ember Moon for the women's title?
It was typical from them, hard hitting, a few missed spots, but nothing crazy. It was good. It was good. It was a little quick for my taste, but it was good stuff. I have to give Raquel Gonzalez some credit because she has learned how to sell really well.
Oh, good.
I mean, she was selling some of Ember Moon's fucking moves really well. Like, oh, that looked like it hurt, but honestly, she barely touched her.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was a good match, man. I was digging it. I was into it. It was good. The crowd was into it too. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, James, we talked about this a bit last week about the super kicks between Billy Ray and Mako.
Yeah.
Like, watching that match, I kind of first you're like, oh, she just kicked her fucking head off, and then you're like, wait, I see the magic trick. I picked up on what the magic trick they were doing was, and I was like, oh, is that what they did in the Ember Moon? All the time Ember Moon seemingly has murdered Raquel Gonzalez. You're like, oh, maybe they're doing the magic trick there.
Yeah, it looked really good, and there was some good stuff. I mean, I tell you this though, I wouldn't want to get body slammed by Raquel Gonzalez because she looks like she doesn't put you down lightly. She fucking slams you. I mean, she drives you into the mat. I'm like, damn. I mean, easy.
Translation: James wants to be body slammed by Raquel Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
James looked up her Instagram, like I said, and now he wants to.
No, I'm not savage like that. No. Even though her pictures look good, you were right.
Hey, you were mentioning a quick aside. You were mentioning the body slam stuff. I was watching this match from Actor Ring Girls. It's this kind of side project of Actress girls in Japan, where they have people do not like real wrestling. It's kind of like they're doing a play, like a theater kind of wrestling, and they're.
It's the one where they do it in front of the window on the mattress, right?
No. That's Choco Pro Gato move. This is like this. They wrestle in a ring and stuff, but they're kind of like actors wrestling, quote unquote wrestling. They're working much lighter and stuff than actual wrestling. But when you mention the body slams, Arisa,
like Ken Moxley.
Yeah. Well, Arisa, Zeus, you might remember Arisa Hoshiki. She retired last year on that horrible week.
Of course I remember.
A horrible week of wrestling last year. She retired. That the guy from Crime Time drowned, and then Mura committed suicide. Like, that was this terrible week. But she made a return of sort last weekend at that thing, and so I watched the match because they put it on their YouTube, and it was interesting watching the body slams because one of the reasons she retired was her neck. Like, her neck's all fucked up.
Right.
And the way they did the body slams, they did in this weird way where you basically kind of land on your ass instead of on your back. And I was like, is that really better than landing, taking a flat bump on your back? What do y'all think?
Yeah, compress your spine.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Yeah,
it's not.
I didn't think it was great to be slammed on your ass instead of.
No.
Doesn't sound great.
No, it doesn't.
But anyways, the main event, James, Fatal 5-Way.
Yeah, that was you know what? That was actually pretty good. I was really into it, man. First of all, if we put Karrion Kross aside, I mean, those four guys are amazing. I mean, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, fucking Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole are no joke in that ring together. I mean, it's like you could blindfold them and they know exactly what they're doing with each other. There was some good counter moves, some chain wrestling, some fucking serious drop kicks, some fucking all kinds of submission holds out of nowhere. Excellent stuff. And then Karrion Kross comes in, and he tries to do the power game, and it just works in that match. It worked. Actually, my biggest disappointment had nothing to do with that match at all. It was with Adam Cole's theme song. That new song absolutely sucks.
Yeah,
But
that's
other than
gotta
that,
go.
yeah, that's got to go. Other than that, man, that match I thought it was very good. It was the best match on the pay per view, in my opinion. It held your attention. It got you excited. I was excited watching it. I didn't want the match to end, but these guys were going at it. I mean, they were going at it. He was carrying Cross. You could tell he was you know, he was getting a little blown up, but he was moving with them. You know, he was like, "Fuck that, I'm getting in this too." You know, and you know, like he was bouncing around the ropes with them. You know, like he was doing all the kind of submission moves with them. It was good stuff, man. And you know what? He retained. You know, he choked out Kyle O'Reilly. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Sounds like I need to watch the show.
It was not one of their best pay-per-views. It was not one of their best takeovers.
It sounds good though.
Because I hold Takeover in the high regards only because of what they've done in the past. But it was good. It was definitely good. I'm sure it'll be better than Hell in a Cell tomorrow. That's for sure. But it was good, man. You should watch it. And then it all finished up this past week on NXT.
Yeah.
You know,
Tell us.
because at the end of the pay-per-view, at the end of NXT Takeover, you know, you had William Regal said he had enough. This is it. Something needs to change. I can't take this anymore. I can't do this anymore. So he opens the show on Tuesday, NXT on Tuesday, saying that, you know, I've given my life to this thing. I've been with NXT since the beginning, the very beginning. You know, he's actually cheering up and stuff like that. You know, this, you know, things have to change. I can't do this anymore. You know, it's taking so much out of me. And then Karrion Kross's music hits, and Karrion Kross comes out, and he just bitches out. He just bitches out fucking
Regal.
Regal, yeah, he bitches him out. You're like, what are you crying? What are you, a little bitch? You know, you're old. Get over it. You know, I'm here. You know, I'm tired. This is my time now. This is it. You know, I told you, I run the locker room. I run the show. You lost control. You ain't shit, basically. You know, and you can tell Regal looks like he's about to cry. Then all of a sudden, Samoa Joe music's hit.
Oh.
And Joe comes out dressed in a suit, and he's like, you know. William Regal's like, you know, I'm going to make you this offer, blah, 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 and this and that. You know, you can run it with me or you can run it. And he's like, no, I'm going to run it with you. So then Regal goes, you cannot lay a hand on any of the competitors. All right? It's a part of the deal of working with me. Unless provoked. So Samoa Joe looks right at Karrion Kross. He goes, so, what are you going to do about that, young champion? I was like, oh, and Karrion Kross just stood there like, oh, and Samoa Joe is in his mug, and the crowd is hype going, Joe is going to kill you. Joe is going to kill you. And I'm hyped up. I'm like, oh, fuck him up, Joe.
Oh, Lord.
And then all through the night, you see Samoa Joe beating the shit out of Adam Cole. He's choking out Kyle O'Reilly. He's doing it. He's telling Johnny Gargano get out of his face. He almost slapped Austin Theory. It was awesome. It was kind of cool what they're doing with him.
Oh, man. That would have been funny if he slapped Austin Theory.
He was like, who are you? That shit was so funny. It's just so funny. But it was good. It was good. I think you should watch the pay-per-view. I would recommend watching Takeover. It was definitely good.
This all sounds very good.
The Fatal 5-Way I thought was really good. I thought it was really good, man, because these fucking guys go at it. You know? It was good. Oh, and one more thing about the Xylee Mercedes, the thing about Xylee and Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez throws the worst chair shot you've ever seen in history.
Oh, really?
Brutal.
Oh, man.
Horrible.
I feel like her work has gone down a lot lately.
She's really good. I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah, I mean, she was good in Shimmer. She was good in the Mae Young Classic. She was good and that kind of stuff. But
I tell you like this: after watching Raw on Monday, I should have been watching Georgia Championship Wrestling with Zeus. That shit was brutal, horrible.
I mean,
Horrible.
how long has it been since Raw was? Did anybody consider Raw to be good?
I don't think it has been, has it?
I'm trying to think.
I mean,
what was the last?
I mean, like when SmackDown made the move to Fox, they quickly became much more favored.
Oh yeah, it's a better show.
It only took like maybe 6 months, and everybody was like, no, SmackDown's the good one. Raw's the shit.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, it's like Vince is like, no, Raw's the good one because I came up with Raw and we only created SmackDown to compete with Thunder, and so that's technically a WCW thing. So I'm not going to treat SmackDown well. And
yeah, it's
remember,
a better
just
show.
like they had some of that interpromotional stuff with them, and between them, and it Raw, the Raw stars kept coming out on top, and everybody's like, yeah, no parody in this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Trying to justify their brand.
I don't know what's happened to Raw. It's just and it's not like they don't have the talent. They do.
I mean, WWE is loaded with talent in every level you look at.
Yeah.
There's like a ridiculous amount.
They
of
just
talent.
don't write it worth the shit.
Yeah, they don't do.
I mean, the only thing worth watching on Raw is the whole thing with Bobby Lashley, because he's good as the heel champ. But it's like everything else is like, yo, what happened? This whole thing with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair losing is. I don't get the whole storyline with Charlotte Flair and this chick, and but both losing to Nikki Cross, and I don't know what's going on with that story.
They don't know what they're doing with the women. They haven't known what they're doing with the women for a while, and it's crazy because. I mean, like outside of Japan, who has like better women than the WWE? Like no one does.
No one.
Like I'm talking about like on all levels, like NXT, NXT UK, SmackDown, Raw. Like you go through their whole women's roster, you're like, no one has a collection like they have outside of Japan. So you're like, well,
no. And I mean, they do a lot with the knockouts. I mean, Impact's clearly second. But it just really drops off after that.
Yeah. You're right, just.
And the problem with Impact is almost that thing where it's like, well, if a tree falls in the woods and no one is
did it really fall?
There's shit's in the woods, nobody around to smell it.
Exactly. Well, actually, ask Fart.
We're back to Fart.
Well, they love to smell their own farts.
Oh, that's true. They don't always have each other.
Yeah, that's true. And then you gotta remember too, guys. The Impact lost Taya.
Oh yeah.
So that just makes matters even worse. I just don't know.
Some other people. So, I mean, for what they do for their audience, they like it. So,
NWA power. I mean, NWA had a shot at getting a good women's division going, especially when they had Thunder Rosa and Camille and they lost how many 3 girls to AEW?
I mean, well, Thunder Rosa's still with NWA technically, right? But I mean, know she's gonna be gone like as soon.
Yeah, you have the traveling whore, and then you have Camille.
Yeah, but she's not even a wrestler.
But that is true.
I mean, it's weird. Like Camille has the women's title right now, right? But what Zeus said kind of hits home to me. Like, Camille and Melina really aren't wrestlers in a way. Like I know Melina wrestled for a long time, but
she's more like
well, yeah. She has a lot of injuries, and she's wrestling right now, even though she's got these injuries and past addiction issues and what have you, and you're like, is that really a good idea?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there anymore.
So one thing I saw this week is there's apparently some show with a former athlete. I don't know, he's some sports athlete that they gave him a WWE show, and great big dude, and him and
Treasures. You're talking about the Treasures.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I haven't.
Yeah,
seen
he's on NXT. That guy's on NXT. He's part of
the Hit Row.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
continue.
Right. So they went and visited Sonny Ono, and Sonny Ono happens to have Andre's giant machine mask.
Nice.
Right? Like he bought it from somebody and he's selling it. And that fucking dude was like going, man, that's Andre's legacy. I hate when I see somebody that making money off of somebody else. But I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, Andre was giant machine for like probably less than 6 months. I'm like, that's
6
not his
minutes.
legacy. You know? That's the fucking legacy. That's Junji Harada's legacy.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
That's, Super Strong Machine came from he was the survivor of the original machines, and he made a career out of being that fucking guy. And so, and who knows exactly, like I said, Man Superstar said that somebody got paid back in Japan for that by Vince.
Yeah, you sure? Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, who was it and who got money? I'm like going, so, let's slow your roll, little child, and just remember,
he just wants to get it. He just wants to get it so he can give it to Triple H, and then Triple H can put it in the museum. That's exactly what he wants it for. So he's full of shit too.
Yeah, it's like, but I'm just like going. People give shit away, people sell stuff, and then other people resell it. It's just the way shit goes. That's the thing about collections. Sometimes you get to a point in your life where shit goes bad, and you need to sell off your Ric Flair robe, or your Texas heavyweight title, or whatever the hell, whoever, but don't tell me that something Andre wore for 5 minutes worth of his career is his fucking legacy.
That's not part of his legacy, not even close.
I hope whoever's selling the Texas heavyweight title is in such a bad state they'll sell it for like $25.
That was Tom. It was Tom Pritchard that had that one. So.
Hey Zeus, so let me ask you a question. What happened to Ric Flair's Starcade mode? Because that's apparently like a hot item.
Which color? The blue one?
Yeah, the one he wore 83. Remember Starcade 83 against Harley Race?
Yeah, that was the one he wore to. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that one because that was a magnificent robe. I mean, he's given away some of them over the years, and he sold some. It's hard to say.
They were trying to find that one, and nobody can find that because it says somebody has it.
Well, it's not in my closet.
I was just about to ask you, Zeus, are you sure it's not sitting in your closet somewhere, you scroungy bastard? He's hiding it. He's like, no one's getting it from me. Fuck Triple H.
They're using it as like their morning robe and stuff.
I know, right? I know, right?
I take a shower. I get out. I put on a 40.
Can you imagine?
I can see Zeus wearing. I can see Zeus wearing that shit to school for show and tell. And look what I got.
If I had that robe, I would wear it every fucking day. Okay.
I just imagine like getting out of the shower and like you're putting that robe on and like someone's watching like horrified, like that thing's worth so much money. You're like, yeah, but I love it. It's my back robe.
Exactly.
Oh, imagine. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. What else happened on that show, Zeus?
That's all. That's all. Somebody just posted a clip. It just pissed me the fuck off. I was just like going.
Yeah, that's not part of Andre's legacy.
I'm like, in, you know, I mean, Sonny Ono, he worked his fucking ass off in his career, and he has been there for so many of those guys helping, helping other Japanese guys that have come to the U.S. and help translate shit for them, and I'm just like going, don't be a fucking douche. I mean, he added so much.
I'm surprised he's not working behind the scenes for WWE, Sonny Ono. Because you would think he would be a good mind to have on staff,
Yeah.
I'll hire him in a fucking minute.
Sonny seems to be, having a good life, so.
Yeah, he's probably drinking, who knows.
Yeah, the Giant Machine is such a small side note to Andre's. Like when you think of Andre the Giant, you don't go like, "Oh, you talking the Giant Machine?" Andre
exactly.
The Giant?
Right.
You're like,
no, we're talking Andre the Giant.
World.
Yeah.
As he fucked the Giant Machine mask, it would be really exclusive to get? You should get the Bigfoot fucking mask that he won, $6 Million Man. That would be hot.
Yeah.
Wasn't it more just like makeup than a mask?
It was a combination of both. It was a mask and makeup, yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't the second one though.
No, he was the first one. Yeah, he was the first one.
And I remember being disappointed because I remember my father specifically saying, "Hey, Andre the Giant is going to be on $6 Million Man this week."
Is he fighting Hogan?
Well, I mean, that was what year was it?
Way before Hogan. Yeah, way before Hogan.
No, I'm just laughing at like your dad's like, Andre the Giant's going to be on the $6 Million Man. You're getting all pumped up. Oh my god! And then it's not him. It's
right. That was the thing is the time he was on there it wasn't. Yeah.
Man.
It's funny. It's like,
Giant?
I'm looking at it.
What was it to set up that Bigfoot show with that other guy? Wasn't there a Bigfoot show for kids? It was
maybe.
like Bigfoot and this other guy like lived together. Not lived together. I don't know. They did something around the woods.
I know they did a Harry and Henderson's TV show off the movie. I don't know anything about the Bigfoot one.
Yeah, so Andre was Bigfoot in '76.
That was even before Hogan Andre at Shea Stadium. Look at that.
Yeah, it was 4 years before that.
Yeah.
I don't think Hogan didn't start till about 78, right?
Somewhere, I don't know, somewhere around there, maybe a little earlier, I think. Maybe 77, I think. I'm not sure.
I'll look it up.
Was he in Memphis in 77?
Let's see. Yes, mid 1977. After training more than a year with Matsuda, the Briscoe brothers dropped by. Blah 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 blah.
He was in Memphis, right?
August 10th, 1977. CWF. So yeah, Memphis, right?
And the Hogan Andre match of shit was what, 1980?
Yeah.
When was
that was because that was the co-main event for Zbyszko and San Martino.
Right. Good job, Ziz. Right.
What was I going to say?
Yeah, who played that second Bigfoot?
That's what I'm looking for.
No.
Ted Cassidy.
Well, why does that name sound familiar? Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't that Lurch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That was Lurch, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you look at I'm looking at a photo of the Bigfoot Sasquatch too. Yeah. Yeah, so Andre was in the two episode story of the first one, and then Ted Cassidy in. Apparently, he was in part 2 as well. Huh. But you know what's funny is I tortured myself and watched Jurassic World.
Oh God.
Part 2, whatever. And you know they're auctioning off these dinosaurs, and like they're like starting the bidding at $12 million, and I'm like, it's like 2018, like $20 million is fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It's like Steve Austin was $6 million in 1976. You know? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's like the reverse, you know. It's like fucking like Dr. Evil, $1 million, you know, for a dinosaur. Like shit, you might spend $1 million on some of those animatronic ones that I saw at the aquarium. Holy shit!
Nice. $1 million.
$1 million. $1 million isn't exactly a lot of money anymore.
No, it's not.
And that was like in 2000 or 96, whenever that came out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hey, y'all want to talk about that fun little list of the 10 greatest catchphrases in WCW history?
Yeah, we can get into that for a little bit. I didn't think, it was okay. It was okay, but I don't remember that shit from the Hollywood Blondes.
I don't either. I mean, they were only a tag team for like, I don't know, man,
5 minutes,
6 months. It wasn't a year.
No, it wasn't a year. No.
They had so little time together. I mean, people fondly remember them. I mean, they really remember their time together with some serious rose-colored glasses. You know.
You still got the list?
I'm about to have it.
Okay. And after this, Pedro can get into his Japanese wrestling rant.
Oh no, that's gonna take me a while. So I'll wait till.
Pedro's got a lot to say. Pedro's like, let me tell you something, brother.
Right, and so like, you know, the one of the problems with talking about WCW history is, you know, it's the name is muddled because, you know, they changed the Georgia Championship Wrestling to World Championship Wrestling in the 80s.
Yep.
You know, but so they got "Come On Baby" by Chris Jericho. They're saying that was the number 10 best catchphrase. I mean, I would put Viva La Raza over that. You know.
Yeah, but he was doing that in WCW, wasn't he?
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like, I don't know. Jericho just seemed to go. I mean, it wasn't like he would just do that every once in a while. I didn't think of that one as so much of a catchphrase.
He didn't use it in his promos. Like, that's what I would think of for catchphrases, stuff you drop in your promos. He would do the 1 foot pin, you know, where he put his foot on the person and do
yeah.
And he'd be like, come on, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Pedro, you're absolutely right, Pedro. Yep.
I think that in WCW, I think Jericho is more, you know, Monday Night Jericho.
Yeah.
That was what, you know, I thought of
You just hit the nail on the head, buddy.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, I don't have these anymore, but I had like all these tapes of Nitro from that point in time, and I like labeled them all like WCW Monday Night Jericho. Like that's what I was.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and then they've got number 9. They got Funky Like a Monkey, and I don't know if he said that. I mean, did he say that a lot? I remember.
but see,
I remember
if they're going to put that in, hold on, Zeus. If they're going to put that in, then how come they put the Road Warriors in?
I don't know. Like I said, I mean,
Because he said that more, and he said that more during his NWA run, even before it became WCW.
Yeah, I mean, and just like the Road Warriors and Paul Ellering. I mean, it's not nice to fool with the Legion of Doom. I mean, holy shit, that was fucking.
But like Hawks, oh, what a rush! I mean, I used to go running around saying that to my mom. Mom, what a rush! What the hell are you talking about, kid?
Yeah. Vader time. It's Vader time.
It's Vader time.
Yeah. And who's the man? It's time. It's Vader time. I mean, because Vader was, he was becoming such a huge star, after he was, first in WCW, and then he got huge around the world, and then, then WCW is like, man, we gotta latch onto this guy, and
I'm pissed that he didn't bring the helmet to WWE.
Yeah, well, Vince wanted him to literally be a woolly mammoth.
The mastodon. Yeah,
he wanted him to be like have 2 tusks and shit. I'm like going, Jesus fucking Christ. If you're gonna do that to him, you may as well have fucking the Giant Gonzalez ride him to the goddamn ring.
That's a travesty right there.
Right?
That would have been terrible. I can't even get into that. That's horrible.
Someone cue the fan art of this now.
Actually, you need like a 2-part. You'd have to have like Vader on the front. Like a Chinese lion. Vader would be the front, and then have like Scott Norton as the back.
Oh my God!
Right?
That's a beefy.
Oh my God!
That's a beefy Chinese lion. Yeah.
Be the fucking the violent mammoths. The number 7 catchphrase. Now he worked it. He owned it. But they've got "Holler if you hear me" for Scott Steiner.
I can get into that because he did it. He should do it all the time. Big Papa Pump is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that was about the freak and
all the big bad booty daddy.
Right. Feel the Bang. I mean, that's quintessential. WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the number 6. Okay, that's the
DDP,
number 6 best WCW catchphrase. Yeah, and then number 5, the most obscure fucking horseshit
I have no clue what this is.
Throw in here. Your brush with greatness is over.
I've never heard that.
For Austin and Pillman.
I never heard that.
They just wanted Austin in the list.
Yeah.
Because they're like, people going to know Austin. Let's put him in the list.
And if they had a catchphrase, it was them doing the movie camera.
Right, I was just about to say, that was their signature, yeah.
That was their signature.
I never even heard that before.
Right? Can you dig it, sucker? For Booker T? That's
awesome, actually. Yeah. Can you dig it, sucker?
Yeah.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Yeah, I mean Booker T. Booker T. Really, he was another one that just blossomed from tag teams.
He flourished. Yeah, he flourished in WCW.
I mean, no offense to Stevie Ray, but he just kind of a little bit too big. He just wasn't as versatile.
No.
And
Too Sweet is the number 3.
No. Okay. I'm just so tired of hearing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's overdone.
There's the whole Hey Yo and the whole
Hey Yo.
Hey Yo.
Who's next?
Let me take a survey.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you here to see NWO or WCW?
Yeah. And then, that was, the Goldberg, that was very
Who's next?
WCW.
Yeah. Who's next? You're next.
I feel like, right. I think they really should have done this as a, Nitro era.
Yeah.
But that would have made more sense. Yeah.
And then number 1, they've got to be the man. You got to beat the man, and he did say that quite a bit. But it's not like, he had so many other.
I would think number 1 would be woo, because that's all that was all he needed to do was woo, and everybody went berserk.
Yeah.
And
I'm a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing, son of a gun.
Right.
I live on the biggest house. I drive the biggest car. I live on the biggest block. My shoes are alligator. This is tailor-made from handmade from head to toe. I mean, you would just destroy Tony Schiavone in his clothes. That was awesome. I don't know what you're wearing, but it's not this.
Oh man, that reminds me, James. That reminds me. Okay, Matt Hardy is doing this gimmick about being like Mr. Money or something. And
no.
Right? But he goes out there in these really cheap looking suits. Like he got the suit like from Walmart or something. No, he may have spent money on it, but it doesn't look expensive. It just looks like these cheap suits you got from somewhere. It would look like he got it from my closet or something. But I was struck like you need to really dress like better if you're going to call yourself like Mr. Money, don't you think?
Yeah, these people know how to do it. They don't know how to do a gimmick anymore. I mean, you have to partially submerge yourself into that gimmick. Like you actually have to believe you're living the gimmick a little bit. I mean, don't be like Flair because he actually lived the gimmick. But there has to be that line, I mean, Flair really was custom down from head to toe. I mean, all the suits fit immaculate, Yeah,
I was gonna say Ric Flair's clothes looked expensive because they were expensive.
And he looked good wearing them too. And he was style and profile. He was awesome.
Another catchphrase.
Yeah, style. I'm styling and profiling. Woo!
Like Zeus said, he was full of catchphrases.
And
he was the one that was talking about. He was talking about the bottom line. The bottom line is.
Oh yeah. The bottom line is. That's right.
You gotta get one of these.
Yep. Zoops.
And he'd be holding up his championship belt. You got to get one of these.
Yeah.
If you want to get.
The other thing I used to love about Flair promos, he would put everybody over, hero and villain. You got to come to the NWA where we got Big Dust, and we got Nikita Koloff, and Ricky Steamboat, and we got the World Heavyweight Champion, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and you have the Rock and Roll Express, and now you would put everybody over in this promo, And come in, you got to come to North Carolina at Greensboro because that's where I'm at. That's where Big Dust is at. That's where Nikita Koloff is at. Nowhere else. I used to love that shit. I used to get hyped up. I'm like, oh my god, I want to go. It's awesome.
He did. He would latch on and he would be that company man. And I mean, he loved being the top guy in the NWA.
Right.
Y'all are talking about Booker T. I wanted to say about him. He's one of the him and Jericho are similar in that they have these big reinventions in their careers and really extended their run. Like he went from tag team guy to then the singles guy, and then in the WWE he even had the whole King Booker thing.
King Booker.
Yeah, I mean, like he got himself over so many times in his career.
I mean, his comedy bits with Goldust was they were amazing. Yeah. His comedy bits with Goldust, there was no joke.
You know what it is, Zeus? You know why so many of the WCW guys could get themselves over anywhere? It's because they wrestled so many different places.
Right.
They have that experience.
Yeah, I mean, when you came up in the territories, that's I mean, you had to deal with different bosses all the time and different audiences, and you couldn't always do the exact same thing over and over again. But you had to be damn good at it if you were. Freebirds, raising hell and kick shit out of people and move on and go somewhere else.
I used to like Booker T's bits with Goldust. I mean, they were so funny. Yeah. He had so many good backstage segments. They were hysterical, man. Oh. He was entertaining. Booker T was entertaining. And he brought his wife in, and he made his wife over. He said, I can get his wife over.
What about the supermarket brawl with Stone Cold?
Oh, yeah. That was hot, Zeus. That was hot. That was hot.
That was silly, but people loved it.
Yeah, I love that thing. That was awesome.
Is my volume still low?
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm too far away.
And Queen Charnel.
Yeah, because let's face it. I mean, we know historically that black colors don't necessarily excel, to the heights that T does in WWF. I mean, he really had to overcome a lot, and he did. He found what worked with the with his with the audience.
And if you remember correctly, his very first appearance in WWE, he injured Austin. He put Austin on the shelf. Because it was an accident, but he slammed all because he came out of the crowd and slammed Austin on the announcer table, and Austin slid the wrong way, and he hurt his back, and Austin was out for 3 months. So you put the golden goose on the shelf in your very first appearance, that's not a good look for somebody.
Yeah, I mean, well, and then we. The death of WCW and the death of ECW was almost, at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And then we had that shitty invasion. And
that was the absolute worst.
Oh, man.
The invasion led by Mark Dindrak? What?
Well, once again, part of that problem was that, they didn't have access to everybody because there was a lot of guys that wanted to just get paid to do nothing, which I don't blame them. I would have loved
that AOL contract. Yeah.
But and it helped. It helped other guys like Rob Van Dam became a star. Out of that.
Yeah.
He was definitely the biggest guy. The biggest thing to come out of the invasion and Booker T, and it certainly wasn't Buff Bagwell.
Oh,
him and his exploding calves.
No.
So that was the worst match ever on Raw. That was horrible.
It's pretty shitty matches, but yeah.
Worst match ever. Yeah,
I can't wrestle anymore. I'll become a gigolo.
Skip this.
That was horrible. Did he just get arrested too?
Did he?
Yeah.
For what?
He was driving under the influence.
Oh.
He had 4,000 million pills or some shit on him. I don't know. I don't know. If you look it up, it's there.
Oh my God. Well, you talking about the worst match ever? No,
Oh, here we go. Yeah,
no,
Pedro.
this was. So hey, did y'all hear about this match from Stardom's pay-per-view this past weekend?
Well, we heard about it from you.
Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't hear people talking about it at all? So
I
the
didn't see much. No.
okay, the main event was Utami defending the red belt against Shuri. And when the pay-per-view happened, some fans were talking about it for a while. Some were like, "Oh man, that was good," and then some were like, "Yeah, it wasn't a lot of noise. It was at first, the pay-per-view was something like, well, I'll catch it sometime in the next week because I wanted to catch the Gaia-ism show first because the Gaia-ism was Sendai Girls and Marvelous Promotions. They've been trying to do this show for a long time. They were supposed to happen last year in April, but COVID shut it down. And so then they rebuilt it was supposed to happen in April of this year, and then that got delayed, and then they finally got to do the show like this past weekend. So I wanted to see that show first because I'd been following that, and they had done a lot of work to build up that show. I was really interested in it. So I was like, I'll watch the Stardom pay-per-view the next week because I knew it was going to take me multiple views to make it through. But then Dave Meltzer was on a podcast. And earlier in the week, and he made some comment about the Utami Shuri match, and he said, like, this is the best women's match since '90s All Japan Women.
Oh God.
And so
What?
so the big hype train started there, right? And then Thursday or maybe it was yesterday, Thursday or Friday, whenever, he dropped his official rating for the match.
9-star?
It was 5.5 stars.
Oh, my stars and garters.
And it was
What's wrong with this guy?
it's the highest rating he's ever given any women's match, like ever. Even you know how he has a big hard on for the Manami Toyota matches? He's never given any of them a rating this high.
Do you think he does this just so? Do you think he does? Do you think he does ratings like this only so he can get people to watch the matches?
I think he props up modern stuff above the past just to appeal to younger audience to keep his business model going. Because his business model is dependent on like the AEW fans and that, like, just feeding them what they want to hear. Like,
Toilet bowl crew.
Well, a lot of younger people want the things happening now to be certified as the best ever, because it's just some weird thing. They want the stuff happening now has to be the best ever, and so he's the guy being like, "Oh, I'll certify that as that for you," and that's what he does. But anyways, so he dropped his official rating. It was 5.5 stars, and like the Joshi community like erupted into like fighting, like the community online, they just started erupting into fighting on Twitter, on this place, on that place, because some people were saying, this match was not, this, much less the best women's match ever. It's not even the best women's match of the past, XYZ. And people were like, you shut up. He's bringing eyeballs to Joshi Puroresu. You keep that to yourself. Don't ruin this for us, is basically what people were arguing. So I was reading all this stuff. Again, my plan was to watch this pay-per-view next week or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I'm going to go ahead and watch the main event. I'm just going to go ahead. I'll watch the rest of the pay-per-view some other time. I'll just go ahead and watch the main event. And I remember I told Bean before I watched it, I said, I'm kind of worried that I'm just going to watch it comparing it to all the best women's matches I've ever seen because of all the noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was my concern. My head was I was going to have this concern. But then I watched the match, and I didn't even think about the rating at all because the match was just a whole level of frustration, like all its own. It's just this whole frustrating experience, just completely its own. And I didn't even think about the whole rating bullshit while I was watching it. So imagine you take all the excessive tropes of modern wrestling. The multiple strike fest exchanges, you know, multiple times throughout the match. The spotty selling, you know, like you sell something while it's happening, but then you're okay and doing whatever, like nothing's happened. The finisher killing, or also like just incredibly death move killing or whatever. Like, oh, I'll German suplex you, and the back of your head will catch the edge of the apron. Nothing. It's fine. No big deal. Air raid crash off the you know, off this thing. Like, oh, it's no big deal. It's nothing, no biggie.
Yeah, being thrown off a helicopter and still kick out at 2.
Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff. So okay, just think of all the another thing, poses, doing like poses like and making like these cartoony faces. So poses, cartoony faces, spotty selling, just multiple. I mean, when I say multiple strike festing, I'm literally mean like, you know, just every so often be like, we got to do another one of those strike fest exchanges, you know. So it's just like,
or maybe it's like they were going so long they were like couldn't remember the spots. They just fall back on the was it like forearm, bunch of forearm to the face.
Well, it was just like. I mean, it was just like this repetition of formula for like 30 minutes, right? For 30 minutes, they're just doing this repetition of formula. You see it's not going anywhere. Like it's going to a draw. And you're like, okay. But I mean, it's just this repetition of formula of these tropes. And I was just like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that part was necessarily like just god awful, but it was just a little annoying at first. Like they're just doing the same stuff over and over. And so they get to the 30 minutes, you know, and of course neither one is satisfied. Oh, you know, they're yelling at each other. So then they restart the match. And you know, the big criticism of a lot of the main event CMLL matches was when they get to the third fall, like you'd have these really short first and second fall, and then the third fall would be like automatically they're like dead, like they one person hits a move, they sell it like death. The next person hits a move, they sell it, and just like back and forth, throwing things and near falls until one of them, whatever. So the restart is like that. Like now they have more reason to be tired because they wrestled for 30 minutes already, right? But they're just like, I'm going to throw a finisher at you. I'm going to survive. Now it's my turn to throw a finisher. Now you survive. Like just that. Working in more strike fest exchanges, more just more tropes, but now with like, you know, oh, my turn. Okay, now your turn. Oh, now my turn. Now your turn.
Who booked this shit?
It was just really frustrating. There was one point when you were talking about Vader, the Vader time stuff. I remembered this spot in the match. There's a part where Utami tried to do Vader's like hammer blows, like those clubbing forearm things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the way he, yeah.
Yeah, she tried to do that, but it, like really badly. Like she couldn't do it. Like she couldn't do it well, and they were like hitting air. They were hitting nothing, and the commentator's like, "Oh, I'm a blah," and all this stuff, and it's like nothing is happening. Literally, nothing is happening, but they're continuing this farce of repeating these tropes over and over. And then the finish, here's the finish. Shuri kicks like Utami's head off. Utami stays on her feet. Shuri hits her with 3 spinning Hurricane back fists. Utami stays on her feet. Then like lariats. Shuri doesn't fall down. Utami collapses to her knees. Then Shuri like kicks her head off again. Utami collapses, and then Shuri like turns her back to her and does like the slow collapse, like to her knees and then onto her stomach and then roll to her back. And then the referee counts them 10. It's a draw.
Oh,
and
wow.
So nearly 44 minutes of just this repetition of like just stuff, just a repetition of the same thing over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, oh God, like I wasted like I wasted time watching for like 40 something minutes of this. Like, just like, think of the most formula annoying thing just happening again and again and again, and you're just like, oh.
That bad, huh?
I mean, it's just frustrating. It was just frustrating. Like this is what they're doing. Like, this is what they did with this spot, with this main event spot. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this. It just made me think of when we've complained about some of the modern wrestling matches that just kind of like go nowhere and they just do the same shit, and you're just like, and the finishing killing is just, I know I've complained about this before, it just bugs me. Like, last year they gave Utami a super finisher, and they gave it to her for the purpose of so you would believe she can beat Mayu Iwatani. And so she beats Mayu Iwatani for the title with the super finisher. And now the super finishers, you can kick out of it. It's no problem. She hits you with a super finisher. Oh, no big deal. I get my shoulder up. I don't even see the point. They did some like submission and limb work, and I didn't even see the point of it because like, they're screaming, fighting for this and this, and then it's like nothing. That limb doesn't bother them. They can do this. Shuri puts the 12th cross arm breaker on you. Oh, I just pick her up for the 12th or 13th time and slam her into this thing.
Update here. So I looked up what Bagwell got charged with.
Yeah.
So, misdemeanor driving under the influence of drugs, misdemeanor open container violation, 4 misdemeanor charges of hit and run.
Hit and run.
Misdemeanor failing to yield when entering intersection. Misdemeanor giving false name or address or birth date to law enforcement officer. 3 charges of following too closely. Misdemeanor reckless driving. Misdemeanor driving within a median or emergency lane. Misdemeanor duty upon striking a fixed object. Misdemeanor driving on the wrong side of the road. And misdemeanor license to be carried and exhibited on demand.
Fuck. Shit. That's not just that's like a ton of things.
What's wrong with this guy? First of all, who let him go behind the wheel?
I'm not going to watch it, but apparently TMZ Sports did an interview with him. Says he's great. He's fine. I'm fine. No, you're not. You're a fucking loser. Fucking idiot.
James, my God.
James, you asked what was wrong with him?
Yeah, what's wrong with him?
Drugs.
Either that.
Drugs and alcohol.
It's either that or he got some bad pussy when he was pimping himself out. Something's wrong. Yeah. Something went wrong. Something went wrong somewhere. Maybe he fucked an old lady one too many times. Who knows? Some old rich woman.
Oh my God.
Can you believe that shit was actually on Showtime? They televised that shit? They televised it. You saw they showed Buff Bagwell having sex.
I didn't see it. But
no, they showed Buff Bagwell having sex, although it was blurred out.
Right.
With an older woman, a rich older woman. And I mean older.
Yeah.
Like, they showed it.
Oh, I believe you.
I was ready for his calf to explode. I was ready for the other one to explode. Oh, he pulled a hammy.
Oh, man, that would be... can you imagine we worked in wrestling spots? Like, and then he's like, I'm making my comeback.
1, 2. Oh,
God.
Well, you can't hurt her. She's in jail. Oh my God. I can't believe he hit it. Wait, so you say hit and run? Hit 4 hit and runs?
Like, did he hit cars or? To hit
Holy
cards?
shit!
Oh man.
But there's
my
a
God.
separate one for hitting other things, you know.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I just had to put it on Impact here because I had to get buffed back with a lot in my head. Hold on. Impact, here we go.
Hey,
We'd rather you watch the reruns of MLW.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not on this week for some reason.
Okay. Well, hey, going back to that match. So
That
like,
was brutal. You wasn't loving it, huh?
well, it was just frustrating. It was really frustrating. And like it was just its own thing of frustrating. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so I don't know. I guess people just like really long, exhibitions of just fake looking shit now. Like, I guess this is just what people like.
Actually, speaking of fake looking shit, I'm looking at Madman Fulton trying to look like Lance Archer. What is this? This guy's horrible. Who the fuck is Josh Alexander?
I don't know. Who is he? Zeus?
Who?
Josh
Is this
Alexander?
Josh Alexander?
Who's that?
I don't know.
Oh, the guy from Impact. The guy that runs around with a wrestling headgear like Rick Steiner.
Yeah. Who the fuck is he?
Oh, he was part of the North. Yeah, okay. I just
He
looked it up
was?
now. Okay, yeah, with Ethan Page.
Yeah, it was him and Ethan Page. Were the
He was part of the North, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Wow, look at that.
Hey,
He was the one
remember?
nobody knew.
Yeah, remember that time I told you all about that cinematic tag team match I saw between the North and some other team?
Right.
Where they had to go to like Yokel Hillbilly Land or something and fight in a barn and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this guy. Yeah. So are you mad about the Meltzer rating, or are you mad about the match that absolutely sucked?
The Meltzer rating doesn't even.
He spent so much time watching.
Yeah, I mean the Meltzer rating doesn't even matter. He's just gonna say whatever, right? He's just gonna say whatever he thinks people want to hear. I was a little taken aback by people being like, "No, you can't say something else against this. We need this." Like, I was surprised by that. Like, seeing AEW cultism in the Joshi, the newer Joshi fans, like, that was weird. Like, okay, you don't want to hear other people's perspective. Like, what eyeballs are going to be brought to this by Dave Meltzer is just going to be the AEW fans who are going to go check this out. Like, oh, he likes our shit.
Yeah.
He's saying this is up there with the best of our shit. Let's watch it. People were already saying this is Omega Okada for Joshi Puroresu. And I was just like, I guess in a way, if you stop and think about it. But yeah, I will say this. From that weekend, you'd be better off watching the main event of that Gaia-ism show. It was a 6-woman tag match where they were reviving the championships from the Gaia Japan, and the winner, it was an elimination match, and the winner got all the belts and stuff. That match was super good. There's a Pedro is marking out review of it on my Coffee, ko-fi.com/Texan Spanish Studios. You can read about it. At some point, I'll record the audio read. I haven't put those up, but yeah, watch that match. And also, real quick, a shout out to Bai Lucha, because he and I watched an All Japan Women's show from 1978 in Hawaii.
Wow.
We did a watch together, and he was telling me some of the stuff I couldn't understand or whatever from the commentary. And we had a good time because some of that stuff was awesome. And then there's a deal with, like, they had a Mexican referee and a Mexican wrestler in this one match. At one point, someone started talking in Spanish, and so we got to reverse roles. I got to translate for him, so that was fun.
Hashtag Luch translate shit.
Yes.
Right.
Lucha's awesome.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's doing some like incredible shit with the translating shit. Awesome stuff.
Safe travels to him in the coming week because I know he'll
Yeah.
be heading back home.
Is he going to do a run in New Japan?
You see King Cornell's mask?
You know, if he wasn't going to do a run in at Lucha Underground, you know, he's probably not going to do one at.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, did you hear about the new shit that MLW is doing? Speaking of Lucha Underground.
Oh.
So you know that they're doing a lot of their filming is based out of the old ECW arena, right?
Okay.
Right. So they took a film crew out to Los Angeles, and they're filming a series of vignettes that look exactly like, including the font and everything, like Lucha Underground.
Ooh.
As long as they're getting permission for all this, I just don't want them to get shut down.
I guess they are, or they're doing it or they're doing it on that tightrope where, like, or you know, they're taking a picture. You know, they're in Boyle Heights taking pictures of Boyle Heights, and it's legal to do so. I guess I don't know, but it's supposed to look exactly like Lucha Underground. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I gotta get caught up.
But no, that stuff happens next month. So live next month, it starts back. Yeah, they're doing the filming now. Although I don't know how they're going to work. If they are they still doing all their matches in Philly Zeus, or did they stop doing it? Or was it half and half?
I have no idea.
I know they were doing some in Texas. I know they were doing some stuff all the way in the West Coast. But now, because it looks like they're doing it in Philly, like full blown. Yeah, in the old ECW arena.
Yeah, if there wasn't the whole pandemic stuff, I would be all for seeing the Von Erichs live. Like, I would mark out for the Von Erich boys, Kevin's kids.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I hope this works out because, you know, it's good. El Jefe, they got Mil Muertes, so it should be pretty good. Now, well, they can't use Matanza, right? Because that's trademarked, right?
Well, you know, probably not. I mean, it's hard to say because, I mean, you know, Mil Muertes is just, you know, he's just like, you know, I dare you to sue me.
Yeah.
What, and didn't he change his name? Isn't it like King Muertes or something like that? Or
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I thought he changed the name to something else.
Oh, really? So it's not going to be Mil Muertes?
No, like it's the same gimmick, but I think he like changed the name. Let's see. Mil
Muertes.
Whoa. Calm down now.
Sorry.
Yeah, King Mortis. Yeah, I'm looking at
King
it right
Muertes,
now.
okay.
Well, the little Aztec crown headgear he's wearing in these pictures look awesome. Oh wow, he even comes out with the gear on. Whoa, that looks cool. Yeah, just look up, you know, his Twitter account at Messias AAA. And you'll see some of this stuff.
El Messias.
Mil Muertes. I remember the whole shit with Wrestling Society X when fucking Vampiro burned his face. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Oh, you remember the funniest thing is the CGI explosions that they
all they needed was Pedro's vocal special effects. It would have been perfect.
You know what's funny is Mil Muertes has got a picture of him and Robert Rodriguez as his header, and it still says Mil Muertes original on his Twitter.
Nice.
Yeah, but I'm seeing an MLW ad, and it's King Muertes against Richard Holiday. Richard Holiday is actually Richard Holiday is going to be at that AML card.
Like I told you all last week, Richard Holiday he's a lot of fun in that stable with Alex Hammer. And like he keeps defending the Caribbean title, even though again he just stole the title. He didn't really actually win it; he just stole it. But well, anything else to talk about?
God bless. No, it's it's crazy. Did anybody catch who was it, Bestia and on
Bean
NWA?
told me about that. Bean told me about it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Did you catch it?
No, I didn't.
I watched. Vice had a special on. They had a 2-hour special on China, which was interesting.
Oh yeah, how was that? I heard people talking about that.
It actually wasn't bad. It was okay. It was all right. It was all right. Some weird shit.
I heard Vince Russo was really sticking up for her. Was that?
Yeah, he was. He was. He was putting down a lot of people, and he really had her back. They had an interview. They showed when China came back from Japan, she was doing like a Comic-Con thing, and they even filmed her and Mick Foley, like a little reuniting, and like Mick Foley was being interviewed right there about China, and it was kind of cool, and he was like, I love Joni, I always loved Joni, but you can tell, like after the whole thing with Triple H, it just went all downhill for her.
Yeah.
It just, and she didn't want to help herself. Yeah. You can only help a person who's willing to help themselves. And she just wasn't willing.
Yeah. I mean, it just, shit was bad. And it got bad. It's one of those things. It just happens.
Yeah. Well, as part of my recovery from my eye and my heart and my body being beat up this past 6 months, I'm going to take a little impromptu to Delray Beach next weekend. So I'll probably be doing the show live from the beach.
Oh,
nice.
I have some sand between my toes, a beer in my hand, and flapping my gums about wrestling.
James, what I'm hearing, hearing right now is you want to do an episode about Bash at the Beach.
We could do that. We could do that.
I think we did do that.
Do Bash at the Beach, yeah.
I think we did do that in the past, but it just popped in my head. I think we did do it before, though.
Did we do a Great American Bash too?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Are there any other beach-themed shows we can talk about? We're going to talk about Baywatch. Let's all watch Baywatch.
Let's all watch Baywatch.
Baywatch with The Rock.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I heard that's the most ludicrous movie on the planet. I heard it's brutal.
I had a copy of it. I don't think I ever watched it.
Oh, Zeus.
Wait a second. They did a movie of Baywatch and The Rock was in it?
Yeah, he's the star. It's like him and...
Pedro, you didn't see this?
No, when was this?
Like 5 years ago.
It was like, yeah.
Oh, man. I must have missed that completely.
How do you miss that? It's with The Rock. It was everywhere. The fucking Rock in orange trunks.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
2017.
Him and Zac Efron. There you go, Zeus. Thank you.
Oh, okay. The poster image just popped in my head now. Okay, let me look this up if I'm right. Okay.
Actually, who was the main woman starring in it?
If you want a good, a better rock movie to watch than that, watch Skyscraper on a big of TV as you can get.
Yeah, that's actually kind of fun to watch.
It was so good in the theater because it was made to be seen in the theater because it's just so big. It's not that it's that great of a movie or anything incredibly original, but
no, it's visually stunning. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember them with the sunglasses. Okay, so that okay. Maybe we're going to talk about beach movies. Who knows? We're talking about something beach related.
We'll do it.
I'm not going to commit to that. We'll do whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Who knows? If I even make it, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, there could be a whole change of plans. Oh, hey, but so James gonna be in Delray Beach.
Yes, sir.
Friday, June 25th is the premiere of Friday Night Jams.
Ah.
So it'll be like Friday Night Jams. It'll be like, roughly half hour of some tunes and stuff. It'll be every other week. It'll last through the summer, like from.
Am I safe to assume that nobody dies?
I don't even remember what was on the first episode.
Oh no!
I think I have like 3 episodes in the can now, so I don't know what's in the first one, but yeah, we'll see what if anyone dies or not.
Oh, there's a tear in my beer.
You were on my
dog in the trash can.
All in the trash can.
I'm gonna go outside and walk my dog.
My self-driving car drove away. What will I do? How will I pick up my baby without you? Anyways,
I used to walk with Mrs. Zero. Now I got it on a leash and she says hell no. Yeah. No. Mrs. Zero can't die. She's my personal bouncy house.
Oh my god. All right, on that note, everybody.
man. Everyone, take care. Thank you, YYH, in the chat room.
Double Y, double H.
Everyone watching, listening, whenever you do. Everyone, take care. See y'all later.
Get vaccinated, wash your hands, wear your damn mask, and do the right thing. Let's go. Woo!
Adios.